Fuck you. Hello everybody and welcome to Ichabod Orange. Now, I've sort of been more or less doing my best to avoid this topic on my channel because, let's face it, I'm not trying to be overly political here. Politics, where they have their place in formal discussions and conversations, it kind of leads to these issues with things. Usually never very pleasant ones, but let's face it, with how YouTube is right now, it's kind of difficult to talk about politics and not have a problem. Which is why my tags never show that I'm talking about politics. They're always commentary, stuff like that. Occasionally, when Heart Progress is mentioned, I will put Heart Progress in the tags, because let's face it, they're a terrible organization. But it's time to talk about an even more terrible organization. One that is leading our country not only into violence, but into dangerous territory, possibly even to a civil war. Let's talk about Antifa. Now, I understand where a lot of people want to be on this. They want to think that Antifa is working with its namesake, which is anti-fascism. But let's face it, the United States Antifa, from what I've seen here, is not behaving accordingly to anti-fascism. They're trying to apply a fascistic tendency to what they're doing. I don't know about the other countries' Antifa. I have no experience. If you do have experience with other countries' Antifa, please feel free to leave a comment below giving a description of what you think they are. But as for me, I can only give the American perspective of what I have seen. And yes, quite a bit of this has been through YouTube and the recorded behaviors of these individuals on YouTube. But from what I've seen, and from how I have seen these people behave, I can't approve of it. And I would like to be able to approve an organization that calls itself anti-fascist, because fascism's bullshit. We all know that. It's not a hard concept to come across. But Antifa is fascism here in the United States. I don't know about anywhere else. I really don't. But here, they're not behaving like good, kind-hearted people. They're behaving like evil monsters. And let's face it, nobody wants to back a monster. It's hard to come to terms with these sorts of organizations, not necessarily because Antifa is on its basic level negative. What it is how it's applied. Consider the concept of Black Lives Matter. You know, I have spoken out about Black Lives Matter on a few occasions, and I have spoken about how I don't approve of Black Lives Matter's behavior in certain situations. Now, the thing of it is, with most organizations, I can blame it all on the voices of 5 idiot people who will go off and say incredibly stupid shit, like the Black Lives Matter list that came out, and it said, you know, if you're gonna inherit your home and you're just gonna sell it because you don't need a home, then give that home to a black or brown family in traditional poverty or generational poverty. My deal is no, I won't do that. You haven't earned it. Most people who live in their home at this time earned that home. They did work to save up the money to purchase that home. Now, whereas that said, I understand these people need somewhere to live. Sure, whatever. Fine. But you can't let them live in such a situation for free, because they don't appreciate what somebody who gets something free does not appreciate that it's free. You have to pay for something to care about it. And Antifa's the same way. They see this country, this government, this situation we're in, they see it as something that they didn't have to work for, but now they can just snake it away from the people that did work for it, that did work for America to be successful in the way it is today. That's not your right. It's not something that I can approve of, because it is fundamentally, and on its very base level, negative. If you want to improve this country, I'm all for it. But if you want to attempt to improve this country using violent means, I can't approve of that. I'm sorry. Now, I know in the past I've also said that somebody just needs to knock the shit out of some Antifa people. And to be perfectly honest, I stand by that statement. Somebody really does need to knock the shit out of some of these Antifa kids. Because they're coming in here masked, trying to beat the shit out of random people because they supported Trump, even though quite a few of them didn't actually support Trump. They just support free speech. I can't say that I think one of them getting their fucking head knocked in by some douchebag is a bad thing. Do I want them to die? No. I want them to learn a lesson. Like, that's the whole reason why I think what happened in Charlottesville is inherently negative. It's because if you kill someone, it doesn't teach any sort of lesson. Just like we tell our kids when they go to school. You've got a bully. Fight back. If he's shoving you and pushing you around, punch him in the goddamn face. I don't ever tell a kid, hey, you got a bully? Stab him in the throat. No. That's not going to teach the bully anything, because the bully doesn't understand you. That's why he bullies. He doesn't understand the very basic levels of understanding between two people, two human beings. They never understand it. And unfortunately, it leads to these sorts of situations. Antifa, right now, is a bunch of bullies. And they need the people they're bullying to stand up to them. Now, whether that's get the police involved or just knock one the hell out. It's not for political means, it's for self-defense. And I assure you, self-defense is what I'm talking about here. If you get into a situation where you are being physically attacked, fight back. And I don't mean be nice about it. I mean punch him in the dick. Punch him in the boob, if it's a lady, I guess. Because I don't think... I don't really know if punching a lady in the vagina is really going to damage her too much. But the point of it isn't you should beat the shit out of them because political ideology A, B, or C. The reason I say it is because these people are attacking others. And the only way to make them stop is to make them realize that it's a negative behavior. And unfortunately, the police aren't doing their job to make it seem like a negative behavior, and the politicians most certainly have done nothing. I was going to do like a long lecture today, but I have seen nothing but a wash of people claiming that Hurricane Harvey was good because it's going to kill a bunch of white people, that Antifa is not doing anything wrong, that they really need to be called out by the mainstream media. No, they don't. I hate to say it, but they don't need to be called out by the mainstream media. They need to be called out by alternative media, like us. Me, Suit, other people who have called out Antifa repeatedly on their abhorrent behavior. We are the ones that have to talk about it. Because unfortunately, we can't put our faith in the honesty or the reliability of the mainstream media at this point. So, don't try to consume the truth from a single source. Go to many sources. And if they're all saying the same thing, it might be good to take a look into it a little bit further. My name's Ichabod, and I don't like fascism, and I certainly don't like Antifa. Thank you all for watching. If you like this video, please feel free to like, comment, and if you're not, go ahead and subscribe. That said, I will be coming out with another video later today. It will not be as lengthy, but I have to get my ducks in a row before I do comment on this particular subject. I have to talk to a few people, figure out what's going on 100%. I probably won't be able to get to that 100%, but I am going to try. And I'm going to see what I can do about it. Thank you guys for watching. I've got raccoon shit to do. I hope to see you later today. Bye. I hope you die